All right, get ready to dive deep because today we're going Eurorack.
Yeah, and tackling some sonic drama.
That's got everyone talking
You guys sent us tons of stuff.
about the Behringer Arches module,
And its connection to mutable instruments.
the legendary ripples filter.
We're here to make sense of it all for you.
Exactly. This is what we're doing today. This is our deep dive.
You know, what I find really interesting here
Yeah.
is this whole concept of influence and how it plays out.
In the music tech world.
Because Behringer is known for taking, let's just say, inspiration
Right.
from classic gear. But in this case, they're drawing directly from a modern Eurorack staple,
Okay.
and that's the Mutable Instruments ripples.
Okay, so before we get all tangled up in the drama.
Yeah, let's do a little S-Urges 101.
Right, like a crash course for our listeners.
Yeah.
Because you know Behringer's marketing.
Oh, yeah.
They love to throw around all these terms.
They do. All the jargon.
Like multi-mode operation.
Switchable 2-pole, 4-pole slopes.
And honestly,
Yeah.
what does that even mean?
Right, for regular people.
Like in plain English, what can this thing actually do to a sound?
Okay, imagine you're a sculptor,
Okay.
right? But instead of working with clay,
Yeah.
you're shaping sound.
Okay.
The URGS is like your set of chisels,
Okay.
giving you the power to carve away specific frequencies.
Gotcha.
So that multi-mode operation.
Yeah.
That means you can pick your chisel.
Okay.
High pass,
High pass?
band pass,
Band pass.
or a low pass filter.
So high pass lets the highs through.
Right.
Low pass lets the lows through.
Yep.
And band pass is kind of like that sweet spot in the middle.
Exactly.
Okay.
Think of it like isolating the vocals in a mix.
Got it.
And then you've got those poles.
Oh, right.
They're all about how steep the drop-off is
Okay.
between what gets through the filter and what gets blocked.
Like more poles.
More poles.
Yeah.
Sharper cut.
Sharper cut.
Yeah, like finer grit sandpaper on your sound sculpture.
I like that fine grit sandpaper.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with you. So you can really get precise with the surges.
Very precise.
But let's talk about, I guess, the elephant in the room.
Or maybe the oscillator in the rack.
Yeah.
This whole ripples connection.
Because Behringer's not exactly being subtle about it.
No, they're pretty upfront.
The surges is taking cues from the ripples.
You're not hiding it.
And that's where things get interesting.
It does, because mutable instruments.
They've got a pretty solid reputation
Oh, they do.
for modules that sound incredible.
Yeah, truly innovative.
And ripples, in particular,
Yeah.
praised for its smooth, almost like liquid quality
That's super sought after.
in the Eurorack world.
Big time.
Okay, so this is significant,
It is.
even if you've never even touched a Eurorack module.
Even if you're brand new.
Because Behringer,
Yeah.
known for their budget-friendly approach,
Right.
are now emulating a boutique module.
Exactly.
So what does that tell us?
Well, I think it tells us a couple things.
Okay.
First, mutable instruments designs.
Yeah.
So influential
So influential that.
that a company like Behringer sees a market for a more accessible version.
Right, right.
But second, it brings up some questions, like
Yeah.
how much inspiration is acceptable.
In the industry.
Right.
Mm.
But we can dig into that later.
Let's dive a little deeper
Right.
into some of the URGS features.
Right.
Because the Behringer website mentions this input level control.
Uh-huh.
That can create an overdriven sound.
Okay, so what does that actually mean for the sound?
Yeah, what does that do?
Think about cranking up the gain on a guitar amp.
Okay.
You start to get that warmth, that
yeah.
fuzzy distortion
Yeah.
that adds this whole new dimension to the sound.
Right.
So the S-Urges is letting you do that.
Within the filter.
Red filter
So adding grit and character.
to your sonic palette.
Okay, so it's not just clean, precise sculpting.
Not just clean.
You can get some dirt in there too.
You can.
Okay, I like that.
They also mention a voltage-controlled gain.
Yeah, for the low pass output.
Right.
Sounds a bit complicated.
I mean, it sounds complex,
Yeah.
but it's actually super cool.
Yeah.
It means you can tweak the volume.
Of the low frequency.
Yeah, in real time.
Okay.
Using control voltages.
So like imagine plugging an LFO into that.
Exactly.
Right.
You could
Yeah.
get those pulsing basses
Yeah.
or evolving soundscapes.
Like next level dynamic control.
It is. Way beyond basic filtering.
So it's not just a straight up ripples copycat.
Nope.
Behringer's kind of putting their own spin on it
Absolutely. Taking the core idea,
of the ripples.
yeah, and adding their own flavor.
Okay, I'm starting to get why people are talking about this so much.
Yeah.
It's not just a new module.
No.
It's what this all means
For the whole scene.
for the Eurorack landscape.
Exactly.
There you
It's a bigger conversation about accessibility,
Originality.
and that balance between, like, homage Yeah.
and innovation.
Right. We've covered a lot already.
We have.
But there's still so much to uncover.
Definitely. We're just scratching the surface.
As this whole surges and ripples connection.
It's fascinating. It's amazing, isn't it?
What is?
How mutable instruments,
Yeah.
this kind of smaller company
Right.
has had such a massive impact.
Yeah. On the Eurorack world.
Yeah.
It's true.
They're modules.
Yeah.
Consistently innovative.
And well designed.
Really well designed.
Yeah. And they've created this distinct sound.
It's true. When you hear a patch
Yeah.
that uses one of their modules,
Right.
there's often,
Like a certain something.
yeah, like something about the sound.
Right.
Yeah, you don't even have
You
to
don't even have to know
the
the specific module.
but there's a recognizable character.
Totally.
Yeah.
They've struck this,
Balance.
yeah, this really interesting balance between clarity and warmth, complexity and usability.
That's not just the sound.
No, it's the whole
Approach. The design.
Yeah. They're known for making modules
Yeah.
that are deep and tweakable,
Oh, yeah.
but also
Easy to use.
intuitive and fun.
Yeah, fun to use.
Totally.
Speaking of tweakability,
Oh, yeah, let's
let's get back to the Hergés.
Okay.
See how it stacks up in that department.
Yeah.
Because the Behringer website
Uh-huh.
mentions additional ins and outs,
Ooh. Interesting.
which sounds promising
It does.
for connectivity.
Yeah. What can you tell us about that?
Fill us in.
So, from what we've gathered,
Yeah.
looks like the SRGs has multiple audio inputs, which means you can feed it different signal,
Okay.
mix them inside the module
Okay.
before they even hit the filter.
Wow.
This is great for creating,
Layered sounds.
yeah, or blending different sources,
So you could
Yeah.
run a drum loop
right?
into
Or
one input and then a synth line
into another
and then use the filter,
to shape the whole thing.
the combined sound.
Exactly. It's like
Grootste.
it opens up so many possibilities
Yeah.
for sound design.
Creative sound design.
Yeah, it's like having a mini mixer
Built in.
right there in the filter module.
Nice.
What about outputs?
Oh, yeah, the outputs.
Any clues about how we can route that signal?
Yeah, after it's processed.
Okay, so they specifically mention a dedicated output
Okay.
for the low-pass signal.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's the most used type.
A filter.
Yeah.
Right. But it's not clear.
It's not clear if there are separate outputs
Okay.
for the high-pass and band-pass modes.
A little bit of a mystery.
A little mystery.
I guess we'll have to wait for.
More detailed specs or
Yeah.
user reviews
Yeah. Some hands-on.
to really get the full picture.
Yeah, for sure.
But even with what we have now,
Yeah.
it's clear that the Surgiza is all about flexibility.
Okay.
Multiple inputs, outputs.
Options.
Yeah, options for patching and processing.
This is all starting to sound
like what?
very mutable instruments-esque,
Hmm.
would you say?
Yeah, a little bit.
Like this emphasis on
Connectivity.
signal routing.
Yeah, I mean, mutable instruments,
Yeah.
their modules are famous for being well integrated
Right.
into the whole ecosystem with
Well,
tons of CV control.
right. And clever.
Yeah, clever signal flow options.
Yeah.
And it seems like
Yeah.
Behringer, with the Surges, is following suit.
This brings us to a big question.
Okay, what's that?
How close is the surges to the ripples
In terms of sound?
in terms of sound?
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about
Oh, the
the
specs.
features are
That's-
one thing,
But the real test
is how it sounds.
is in the listening.
Absolutely. Sadly,
Yeah.
we don't have audio examples.
Not yet.
Not yet to compare directly.
Yeah.
But judging by the descriptions
Yeah.
and the whole design philosophy,
It seems likely that the Esser Surgiesi will capture
like at least a little bit,
some of that ripples magic.
that smooth,
Yeah.
liquid quality.
Yeah, the signature
The
sound.
one you were talking about earlier.
Exactly. That's what ripples is all about.
Okay.
And I think Behringer was aiming for that.
A similar vibe.
Yeah, that similar sonic aesthetic.
Okay.
But of course,
There will be.
yeah, there are always going to be subtle differences
Right.
based on components,
Yeah.
circuit design, you know,
Yes.
all those little things.
It's almost like comparing a cover version
Oh, yeah.
of a song
Right.
to the original.
To the OG,
Yeah. The essence is there.
the core.
But there will be nuances.
Yeah, nuances in the performance.
Yeah, the interpretation.
That's a great analogy.
Oh,
And
but-
that's what makes this so interesting.
Yeah.
Even if the Surges isn't a perfect replica,
Of the ripples.
right,
Pretty-
it could offer its own unique take on
Yeah.
that sonic territory.
And that's what's exciting.
It is. It's not about having a clone.
Right.
It's about exploring,
New possibilities.
yeah, within a familiar sonic landscape.
Exactly.
And for a lot of Eurorack folks,
yeah.
the appeal of a module like the Surges
Uh-huh.
goes beyond recreating a sound.
Okay.
It's about having a tool,
That's versatile.
versatile and inspiring,
Yeah.
that you can use in tons of ways
Right.
to create something new.
Yeah. Yeah. To create something unique.
Exactly.
Speaking of unique,
Yeah.
let's talk about some of those features, like
Right.
the overdrive
Right.
and the voltage-controlled gain.
They're the low pass output.
Yeah, these seem like they could really...
Some twists.
Yeah, some interesting twists.
To the classic Ripples formula.
Oh, boy.
Absolutely. The overdrive
Yeah.
starts into the filter.
Yeah.
That's such a great way
Add what?
to add grit and warmth
Okay.
to the sound.
Okay, so it's like...
It's like having a distortion pedal
Uh-huh.
just for those frequencies.
So instead of boosting everything...
No, this is selective.
Okay.
You're distorting specific frequencies.
Okay, so you can dial in
Yeah.
just the right amount
The right amount of grit to give it some edge
without messing up.
without overwhelming
Yeah, the whole mix.
the whole thing.
Okay, what about that
Yeah.
voltage-controlled gain?
For the low pass?
It's a low pass, yeah.
What kind of adventures can we have with that?
What can we expect?
That's where things get interesting.
Okay.
Imagine patching an LFO
Okay.
into that control voltage input.
Right.
You could get this rhythmic pulsing
Okay.
on the low end,
Yeah.
adding movement and groove.
So you could have a bass line
Yeah.
that's constantly...
Evolving.
Yeah, like shifting,
Yeah.
almost like it's breathing.
Yes, exactly. It's all about
A
adding
dynamic feel.
dynamic and organic qualities to your patches.
I'm already imagining all the possibilities.
This module is getting
More and more interesting
more interesting
the more we learn.
the more we uncover.
Yeah, and what's really exciting,
What's that?
this is just the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
We're still waiting
For more info
in-depth information.
and user feedback.
Yeah.
To really grasp the full potential
Of the surges.
of the Surge.
It's like we're like explorers
Oh, cool.
charting a new...
A new sonic territory.
Yeah,
I love that.
we've got a map. But
Vast areas
Yeah.
waiting to be discovered.
I like it.
Before we get too lost exploring
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
bring it
yeah.
back to the influence.
of mutable instruments.
Yeah, we've talked about
How their modules are known for their
Yeah.
design.
for connectivity.
But what about the bigger picture
Yeah, what about their impact?
on the whole Eurorack landscape?
Yeah, on the whole scene.
That's a great question.
I try.
Mutable Instruments has, in many ways, helped
Yeah.
define what modern Eurorack is. They've popularized this idea
Have what?
of modules that are powerful,
Okay.
but also playable,
Good.
combining deep functions
Ah.
with intuitive interfaces.
Easy to use.
Yeah, easy to use.
Their modules have become...
Like staples
Yeah.
in so many Eurorack systems.
Yeah? It's
And their design and sound
Yeah.
have influenced a whole generation.
of module developers.
Yeah.
So is it safe to say
Right.
that the Sergi Zs wouldn't exist
Mm.
without mutable instruments?
Without the groundwork they laid.
Yeah.
I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
And it goes beyond the Sergi's
Okay.
Behringer's whole entry into Eurorack
Right.
with their focus on
Affordability?
accessibility wouldn't
Yeah.
be possible without
The foundation.
Yeah, built by companies like Mutable Instrument
Who've really pushed the boundaries
of what's possible.
in this format.
In Eurorack,
Right.
it's a testament to
Creativity.
creativity and innovation.
Yeah, and it raises questions about the future of music tech.
Will we see more of this?
Yeah.
A blend of boutique
And budget-friendly.
approaches.
Yeah.
Will accessibility lead to more
More diversity?
in sonic exploration?
Those are good questions.
They are.
Worth pondering.
Definitely.
And I have a feeling
Yeah.
we're going to be revisiting them
As we
continue to explore
in its place.
in the ever-evolving
Or
world
Eurorack.
of Eurorack.
You know, it's kind of funny.
What is?
We started talking about the Surges.
Yeah.
But we've ended up on this journey,
Through Eurorack.
the evolution of Eurorack.
Yeah, the influence of mutable instruments
It shows you the impact a single company can have.
on a whole industry.
It really does.
Mutable instrument.
Yeah.
They've had this remarkable impact.
They have
Not just in terms of,
the modules.
yeah, the specific module.
Yeah.
But their whole approach,
And philosophy.
their design philosophy,
And their commitment to
source,
open
everything.
hardware and software.
Okay, for those who might not be,
Deep in the Eurorack world,
yeah, break it down.
What's so special about open source?
Yeah, why is that such a big deal?
Think of it like sharing a recipe.
Yep.
Mutable instruments.
Yeah.
They openly share their designs,
Yep.
the code for a lot of their modules.
So other people can
Other developers, hobbyists, even
learn from it,
learn from their work.
modify it, create new things.
Yeah, build on it.
Okay, so it's not about
Keeping secrets.
it's more about
It's about sparking new ideas, pushing boundaries.
of what's possible with Eurorack.
Exactly. And that's had
a profound effect
Yeah.
on the Eurorack landscape.
You see their influence
Everywhere.
in so many modules.
Yeah, even from
Like competitors.
technically
And
competitors.
So it's like this shared language
Yeah, like a set of building blocks
that everyone can use.
to create something new.
Something excites. Exactly.
Which brings us back to
The surges.
the surges.
Yeah.
A product that's both a
Beneficiary
and a
participant
in this ecosystem.
in the open source world.
I'm also struck by
Yeah.
the accessibility.
We've talked about.
Behringer being affordable.
Yeah. Budget friendly.
But this is more than just price.
Right.
The open source nature.
Makes it easier to
to understand
these modules work.
It demystifies.
Demystifies yours.
Encourages more people
To jump in.
to get involved.
Exactly.
It's like the difference between
Okay, like this.
learning a language from a book and being immersed.
In the culture
Yeah.
where everyone is speaking it.
Open source provides that.
That immersion.
You're not just learning.
No, you're experiencing it.
The vocabulary,
Nuances.
the context.
Yeah, the whole thing.
This makes me think about the future.
The future of music tech. We're seeing a convergence
It's-
of forces.
Particularly
Open source, this renewed interest in...
classic sound.
Yeah.
It's creating fertile ground
Yeah.
for innovation
I think we're going to see more
Yeah.
of this cross-pollination.
between different approaches,
Different philosophies,
leading to new
hybrid instruments,
hybrid workflows.
things we can't even imagine.
It's going to be wild.
It is. I can't wait.
Me neither.
I think the takeaway here,
For our listeners, is this.
yeah,
Don't be afraid
to experiment,
to explore.
to get your hands dirty with the technology.
And the sound,
The more you engage,
the more you create
to it.
to that sonic tapestry.
that's constantly evolving.
Beautifully said.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Stay curious.
stay inspired
And keep pushing those boundaries.
of what's possible with sound.
Until next time,
Happy patching.
and happy listening.